How to plant Anthurium flowers as ornamental plants at home. Anthurium is one of the most popular ornamental plants for ornamental plants lovers because of the varied beauty of the leaves. The price of Anthurium plants is very high, can reach hundreds of thousands to millions. Among all types of Anthurium, the type of Anthurium is the type of Anthurium that most people often look for. 1. Growing conditions of Anthurium flowers. Anthurium plants can develop in bright and indirect light. These plants do not like direct sun exposure, except in winter or in plants that have been used carefully. Anthurium lives at temperatures above or above 25 degrees Celsius, and the type of leaves prefers warmer temperatures. If the temperature drops below that level, the plant will die. Anthurium can grow in loose potting soils that must be kept moist all the time, but not too wet. Anthurium produces aerial roots which appreciate drizzle, and roots can be gently pushed to the ground from time to time. It is recommended to use liquid fertilizer during the growth period. 2. Soil conditions. Anthurium prefers well-drained soils that range from sandy to clay. If you place the plant in the garden, not in a pot, clay is very deep, about 16 inches, to break it down and provide better drainage. Mix in 4 to 6 inches of compost matter while processing also help drainage, and add organic matter to the soil which helps the growth of Anthurium. Add soil conditioners, such as peat, perlite and vermiculite, will also help provide better drainage and aeration. Plants like acid soils with soil phase ranging from 5.5 to 6.5. 3. Water needs. Anthurium does not need much water. Watering can be done if the soil begins to dry out. Watering is done just enough. Do not overdo it. If the soil is too wet, then the leaves can turn yellow and will eventually end with rotting roots and death of this plant. Anthurium leaves are not very conservative when it comes to water. This plant requires high humidity, so it can be sprayed several times a day. 4. Light needs. Sunlight does not directly provide Anthurium the best opportunity to develop. Anthurium does not like direct sunlight, but indirect sunlight will keep beautiful red, white and pink flowers appearing throughout the year or during the time of blooming. 5. Anthurium nurseries. Anthurium which is grown commercially is usually propagated using cuttings and grafts. But it can also grow Anthurium from seeds. But the plants produced may have unpredictable characteristics if produced by hybrid parent plants, and may be more difficult to grow. Anthurium seeds must be fresh and moist when planted. If you don't have Anthurium plants, you can buy them at the plant shop. Fruit pulp surrounds the seed, can prevent seeds from growing or causing fungi. Apply as much pulp as possible with the fingers, then put the seeds in a cup of water. Let stand for 1 to 2 days while pulp material is released and floats up. Prepare the planting medium with the same parts as moss, perlite and bark sphagnum. The soil needs of Anthurium seeds are similar to the needs of mature plants. Seedlings into the seedling media on a tray with a lid, because the Anthurium plants come from the tropics and need a warm and humid environment. Place the planting media mixture in a pot measuring 10 inches. Place 1 seed per flower pot and place the inverted glass canning bottle on top of each pot, or coat the bottom of a shallow earthenware tray with a prepared pot mixture. Spread the seed evenly over it, and cover with a flat sheet of glass or plastic on a tray, leaving an air gap between the sheet and the ground. Then a little wet. Wet the pot medium mixture slightly, then cover with a barrier to keep the environment moist. Moistening the mossy mixture can also help prevent seeds from sinking below the surface, which reduces the chance of germination. Store the pot mixture at a temperature of about 27 degrees Celsius, in the indirect or partial shade of the sun. Keep the soil moist while waiting for the seeds to germinate, because they are very vulnerable to dry at this stage. In about 20 to 30 days, the seeds must sprout and grow the roots and leaves first, after which the plants can be moved to a larger container and treated. Move the young plants carefully, because the roots may be brittle. 6. Fertilization. Apply high phosphorus fertilizer to facilitate its growth and development. Although many ornamental plants prefer balanced fertilizer, Anthurium grows best with fertilizers like 5 to 10 to 5. Use not too much because Anthurium does not handle high levels of soluble salts, as well as how to care for orchids. That's our video that discusses how to grow and care for Anthurium flowers as decorative plants at home. Hopefully the video that we present can be useful for all of us. Also watch our next video every day at 6 p.m. See you later and thank you for visiting our channel.